morning, everybody, and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I'm Zach. This is Jimmy. It's his first time here with us on the Stahls TV Morning Show. He has been behind the scenes a lot with helping us prepare for trade shows. All of the nice samples that you see here on the morning show, he makes a lot of those. Not all, but a lot. He has some good ideas every once in a while. So we brought him on this morning to help us outline full color printing. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Jimmy, to get started so our viewers know who's teaching them.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Zach. I'm excited to be here today. A little bit about myself. I'm mostly behind the scenes, as Zach said, a lot of trade show prep, cutting out designs. I spend a lot of my time with the vinyl cutter, so it's become one of my best friends. And I'm just, thrilled to be on the morning show this morning.
That's why they call you Jimmy Vinyl around the office.
Well, now that everybody knows, yes, that is my nickname.
All right, well, it's great to have you here, Jimmy. It's great to have all of our viewers here through our GoToWebinar client, as well as those watching on Facebook Live. We welcome you. I'll give you a quick outline of what we're going to cover today. The majority of our episode is going to be spent talking about full color printing with a special emphasis on all over printing and sublimation. That'll be closer to the end of the episode. We also have a bit of an Easter treat. Today's first day of spring, so it's time to start thinking about Easter. It's only like 4 weeks away, I think. Something like that. Yeah, and then we're going to start today's episode with our look of the week. So let's pull that up and have a look at it. We have our look of the week from Tracy Simmons Sanders from a city I won't try to pronounce, South Carolina. Well, what Tracy submitted for our look of the week is a foil decoration. Jimmy, do you want to tell us a little bit about how the foil application process works for those watching who might not know?
Normally, it's either going to be a screen printed transfer or maybe the adhesive Cad-Cut material. If she did do that out of, Cad-Cut, hats off to you, Tracy, because that's a lot of weeding.
Yep.
But normally you would heat apply your transfer or your vinyl to the garment and then just simply place a layer of the foil over top of it for another heat application.
Okay. Well, Tracy, we thank you for submitting to our look of the week. There are three ways that you can submit for the look of the week. First, there is email. You can send an email with a JPEG of your look of the week to tv@stahls.com. You can submit on Facebook at the Stahls Show and Tell. Tag us at Stahls TV. You can also submit on Instagram by tagging your photo at Stahls TV. Now, if you email to tv@stahls.com, who's going to reply to that email, Jimmy?
I think it's going to be me, actually. So.
All right, so Jimmy is the face behind the Stahls TV email, to where you guys know, for those of you who are submitting to that. All right, well, Jenna actually chose our Look of the Week this week, and what does our Look of the Week winner receive?
It's actually a secret, Zach.
Okay.
I get to hand select what goes in the box. It comes unmarked. You will have no idea what is in it.
Great.
And it's just, handpicked by me, but there's some good stuff in there, no worries.
Okay, so there is a prize for winning the Look of the Week. You'll receive your box handpicked by Jimmy, and it's all great things for heat printing. So Jenna chose that look, and we're actually going to kick it to her right now for our Make It Monday segment.
Thank you, Zach and Jimmy, for having me on this week for our segment of Make It Monday. For this Make It Monday, this is actually the Easter treat that Zach was telling you about earlier, and that is Easter buckets. Easter buckets is something found on Wholesale Boutique, and it actually has a fabric base, which makes it very easy for heat applying, heat transfer vinyl, or screen print transfers, or what have you. So let's get started on our Hotronix Fusion. I already have my 8x10 platen loaded on here. Makes it very easy for threading this right on and getting a nice flat surface. All right, so we're going to do a quick preheat for a couple seconds just to release any moisture or wrinkles in the fabric. And I'm going to be applying glitter flakes. So I'm going to want my pressure a little heavier than that, about a medium pressure, which is going to be a 4 or 5. So I'm going to place down my first heat transfer, and that is our white or our purple glitter flake. So I'm going to be placing that down first, for just a couple seconds. And since I'm doing a two-step application here with glitter flakes so that we get two colors, I'm going to be just tacking this for a couple seconds. This is going to ensure that it adheres nice on there, and you can just go ahead and peel that carrier back hot. And then we're going to put our second layer down, and then grab our cover sheet since we have some exposed heat transfer vinyl there. So I'm just going to lay that on top. And this is actually going to be going for its full application. So glitter flake applies anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds at 320 degrees. So I'm going to hit that for its full application to make sure both colors of glitter flake are applied nice and full to the fabric there. Now I want to point out, as I mentioned, I got this blank from Wholesale Boutique, and they offer a lot of different pastel colors that are great for Easter. So you're seeing purple here. They offer pink, blue, green, and several others. So be sure to visit their website and check out some of the really cool items they have to personalize for Easter or spring.
Okay, thanks, Jenna.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple questions just to follow up for our viewers. How much did that particular bucket cost?
I believe it cost around $4. Don't take my word for that. I wasn't able to double check the price on the website.
Okay.
But our transfer cost us roughly $1 or and some change. So with that application, you can sell these anywhere between $10 to $15. So you're looking at a good profit either way.
Okay. Are there any other Easter decorating ideas that you have for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So with it being Easter and being able to fill the baskets with a lot of stuff, you're looking at a lot of items that you can personalize to put in the basket. So the first item I have here is a pair of sandals that were actually also from Wholesale Boutique. And I just personalized them with gold fashion film to match the buckle on there. So that's one item. Another popular item for spring is a beach towel. This was done in the craft corner. So you can see here I have Spring Break 2017. That was done for a video on there, but you can personalize that with heat transfer vinyl for anything. And also moving along to garments. So first we have here is a monogram t-shirt. This is done in our CAD color material. So you're seeing a lot of bright pastel colors on there, which is perfect for spring, which makes it a perfect gift for Easter. And a few other items that were purchased on Wholesale Boutique as well are this little kid's jacket with a glitter flake monogram and a little Easter dress with a lot of cute ruffles on there, perfect for a little girl. And that has a fabric pom-pom with a glitter flake bow and fashion film for some extra personalization.
Okay, that all looks very crafty and fun.
I did have an additional question if we could go back to the Easter bucket really quick. Now, that looks fairly easy since you could thread that onto the Fusion press, but what if you know, some of our viewers don't have a press that you can thread onto? Okay,
so if you are working with a heat press that you don't have the ability to switch out platen, you do have a heat printing pad that you can just put in there to make this area pop up in the seams and other parts of the bag, such as the handle here. You can just get those right out of the way by placing this bag and getting a nice flat surface. This also works with anybody using an iron. So keep that in mind. Heat printing pads are the way to go if you are decorating unique items such as this.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jenna. So I know when I was a kid, we would get Easter baskets from my parents, and one of the things that I remember most about them is how they were all filled in the bottom with that green fake grass, and it just got everywhere. I refuse to put that in my kids' Easter baskets.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I would find it for months after, you know,
Yeah.
in the carpet everywhere whenever I was a kid. So.
Now, did you have any Easter traditions that you'd like to share?
One that comes to mind is my mother used to always hide our Easter baskets, you know, in the morning. So it kind of puts a little bit of an, you know, adventurous spin on the Easter activities.
Okay. Did you always find the basket quickly?
You know, as I got older, you know, I just pretty much found all the hiding spots, so it was a lot less fun.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, well, one of the Easter traditions in our house was coloring Easter eggs, and I want to relate that to something that's happening that's extremely exciting here today at Stahls. If you visit Stahls.com, you actually now have the ability to color a roll of Cad-Cut vinyl, much like you would color Easter eggs. Wow. We launched Cad-Cut Patterns today. I have a few sample rolls here. So this is basically Stahls express print material with a pattern printed on it that we can design at Stahls.com. Jimmy has a couple there. So there's a few patterns available. And I'm going to ask Joe to switch you over to my computer here just to show you how this designer works, because it's extremely simple and, in my opinion, very exciting, especially for those folks who want to decorate in full color that might not have a print cut machine or don't want to order transfers. You still want to produce in-house. So at Stahls.com, we're going to go to our Cad-Cut material, vinyl, and twill tab. And if you look in basically the middle of the screen, there is patterns. And like I said, this is brand new on the website this morning, so you're seeing this probably for the first time. And as we scroll down the page, it shows you all of the different patterns that you can order. So I can switch to a boomerang pattern, a chevron pattern. If we're thinking spring, we can pick one of our floral patterns. There's hearts here as well. In addition to the patterns, if there is a custom color of Cad-Cut that you can't currently get, we also offer a solid option. So this would be great if you have some trending colors that you need for short runs. You can custom print your own Cad-Cut. Stahls will print it and ship it to you. So we're just going to choose, let's go with the fishtail pattern here today. And then we hit number 2 to choose color. And we can choose from these popular colorways that you see on the bottom of the screen, or we can custom make our own colorway from all of the color options available to print from Stahls. So let's think spring here, Jimmy. What are we going to go with? Let's go with a pink, and that's pastel yellow, which is very Eastery, but maybe we'll go with a voltage green. Looks a little wild.
It does.
But that's what my Cad-Cut pattern would look like. So then from the next step, we go to our ordering info, and you can order here as little as 1 yard up to a 10-yard roll. In addition to the express print pattern, you're also going to need to order the medium magic mask that is on the bottom, so we're not letting you forget that part as well. This product is going to ship to you in a roll form, and you're going to cut it like a traditional Cad-Cut. You're not going to cut mirror image, though. That's the main difference on this product. You're going to cut right reading, and then you will weed away the excess material, apply your mask to the top like you're making a print and cut transfer. We've just done the printing of the pattern for you. So this is great for custom solid colors or any pattern that Stahls has available at Stahls.com. So really exciting. Color your Easter eggs, color your vinyl.
And this particular material, I've done a couple designs for an upcoming class, and it's very easy to work with. I cut it on the Graph Tech, and I just put in, you know, basically the Premium Plus settings, and, you know, weeds like a dream.
Okay, great. So this is a full color printing option for those of you with only a vinyl cutter, or if you don't want to take up your print cut machine capacity. So that brings us to the core of today's show, full color printing options with the focus on sublimation. But let's start and just give a quick overview of the most traditional full color printing options. So what do we have when we're talking decorating in full color on apparel?
You know, the three that really come to mind are going to be DTG, which is direct to garment, print cut, as you had mentioned, and also sublimation.
Yeah. So there's some key differences in these particular print processes. When we talk to shop owners across the country, they'll ask us, should I invest in a direct-to-garment printer? Should I invest in a print and cut machine? Honestly, the answer is going to be different for everybody. It depends on what you're decorating, and if your shop gets big enough, if you garner enough sales, most shops end up with both technologies in-house anyway. So the direct-to-garment printer is going to be great if we're focusing on cotton, full color, short runs. That's really what it's designed for. The print and cut machine is going to be great for your technical fabrics. You can make transfers on there. You can also add a wide variety of products in addition to apparel. You're going to be able to print decals, banners, and a lot of other things with print cut transfers. But today's focus, which is something that we don't focus on a lot here at the Stahls TV Morning Show, is on sublimation. So what do we know about sublimation?
Well, sublimation is actually a chemical process. So you're going to print out your design on a specific paper, heat apply it to your polyester garment, and what that polyester garment and that transfer paper will do, it'll actually dye the polyester garment. So that ink is trapped in there permanently. It will never come off.
Okay. You brought out chemistry.
I did.
Yeah. So sublimation, what happens is that ink is a solid, and the chemical process of sublimation is when it turns directly into a gas, skipping the liquid phase, becomes one with the shirt, turns back into the solid, and doesn't come out. One of the samples that we have here for you this morning is a way that we have featured sublimation at Stahls TV a lot, and this is sublimated glitter flake. So all we did was Cad-Cut our glitter flake material and applied a sublimation transfer on top of it. If you want a lot more detail on how to produce that, we have a ton of videos available at stahlstv.com that teach you that. But why can we sublimate onto glitter flake material?
Well, the cool thing about the glitter flake material is that it's mostly made up of a polyester base. So the the specific paper that you'll print on and heat applied directly to the glitter flake, it will adhere, permanently. It'll stay in the glitter flake. The gases, will adhere to it just fine.
So sublimation, when most of our viewers typically hear that term, they're thinking originally 10, 15 years ago, most people were sublimating mugs. More recently, there's been a trend with sublimating socks, and that can all be done with a small format sublimation printer. Sawgrass makes a great one. If you're looking for that, somewhere between a $500 to a $1,500 investment to start sublimating small items. But one of the bigger challenges that we have is how do we sublimate large items, particularly how do we do all over printing?
Well, that brings up a valid point, and most of you are probably familiar with the LuLaRoe craze, and that's going to be like an all-over print essentially. So what a lot of people do is they'll print out very large pieces of the sublimation paper, and they have specific layouts for the garments, and they're actually dyeing the full garment before it's sewn together.
Yeah, so that would be an example of cut and sew sublimation, and we have some samples here for you to take a look at of cut and sew sublimation. So this hoodie is completely sublimated. That black is not the color of the shirt. If we turn this shirt inside out, you can see that our base fabric was actually a white. So we are all over printing this shirt. And one of the cool things about cut and sew sublimation is if you have ever sublimated on your own with a finished garment, you're going to see white marks in the armpits or anywhere that the garment has creased over itself because the transfer can't make contact with it. Cut and sew sublimation, by doing everything in a flat form before the garment is constructed, gives you a true all-over print. Now this presents a challenge for those of us who order, or if our customers want an all-over sublimated jersey. One, what if we don't know how to do that custom? Two, what if we know where to get it and how do we decorate it? So what are some of the issues that decorators have with sublimated shirts, like applying to them after they've already been sublimated?
A lot of the times what will happen is they can tend to bleed. So whenever you're going to heat apply something onto the garment after it's already sublimated, sometimes the heat will actually release some of the dyes, so you can run into issues there, and then also laundering the garments, you can get bleeding there as well.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the products that Stahls has come up with to help inhibit that dye migration is the SuperTech Sublistop product. So that is applied here. This is a print and cut transfer. You can order it through the CAD Prints wizard at stahls.com, or if you have a print and cut machine, you can order this material by itself and print and cut your own transfers, but it's designed specifically to inhibit dye migration, and that is done through not only a charcoal backer that is applied, basically it's a black backer that's applied to the material, but it also applies at a lower temperature so as not to disturb the sublimation inks. Most sublimation is going to happen at 365 degrees or higher. SuperTech and other products designed for sublimated shirts apply at around 280 degrees Fahrenheit. So what if you want to offer all over sublimation for your sports teams this spring, and you don't have a large enough press to do that or sewing ability? I can't sew. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but
my grandma made me try it one time, and it was a miserable fail.
I did sew a bag in home economics class in 8th grade, and it was awesome. I think my mom still has it. But how do you address a customer that wants that? So, Joe, I'm going to ask you to come to my computer, and we're going to show you one of the resources that's available to you from folks who are doing all over sublimation, and that's Holloway Sportswear. What Holloway Sportswear has done, they realize this trend for all over printed sublimation, and they do the work for you. However, their model is set up to sell through dealers like Stahls TV viewers. So you can go on to or send your customers to HollowayUSA.com to their sublimation page. You can see here that they're doing a 4-piece minimum with a 4-week shipment guaranteed. Your customer can go on here, do the design work, and then they actually place the order through you. You can see at the top of the screen, find a local dealer. So give Holloway a call if you'd like to be set up as a local dealer here to offer their sublimated jerseys. This is cut and sew sublimation. It's all over printing. It is trending not only in sports, but it's also trending in fashion, which leads me to one other website that I want to show you. This is a website called RageOn.com. And I believe we've showed you Rage On before on the Stahls TV Morning Show, but what they are doing is assembling a community of artists to design pieces that are then all over sublimated. This all over printing is taken off if you're selling into the esports realm. For those of you who don't know what esports is, it's absolutely huge. There's tons of people who sit at home all night long and play video games, and they order jerseys and go compete against other schools. This is a big thing in college right now that's happening. And you can see on the screen the leggings, and Jimmy mentioned LuLaRoe leggings as well. But all over printing is all over. That was a poor pun, but...
But I honestly think it's the future. You know, everyone wants, very vibrant, multicolored designs. And, it's important to, get out there on the internet, check things out, look on Pinterest, look on Facebook, see what people want, and now you can provide that for them. Yeah,
which is really where Jenna came up with some of the designs for the craft corner as well. If you're looking on Etsy, it's very crafty. Go out and check out the trending fashions and look to Stahls to tell you how to decorate those things. I think we have a few questions coming in here on Facebook. Let's see. How do you remove a box around, and I can't see the whole question. Joe's going to give it to us here in just a second. It's disappearing. We'll start with this one. What vinyl do you suggest to hide dye on polyester jerseys? I use a Roland GS24. So there are a couple vinyl options. If it's a completely sublimated jersey, there is, sorry to say, there is no vinyl that will completely guarantee that you're going to be able to block that dye from coming up through, but we recommend looking for one with a low temperature application. One like Premium Plus from Stahls would be a good option. It applies as low as 280 degrees. Or you could also look at thermofilm, which is also proven to inhibit dye migration. If you're doing white letters and numbers, thermofilm is the choice of most decorators around the country. So that would be an option for you. The other question that we had come in, how do you remove a box around the garment from sublimation? Once the box is already there, it's going to be a real challenge to get rid of it. Sometimes that box occurs because moisture has been removed from the shirt, so it tends to fade through washing a little bit, but the ideal would be to try not to put the box there in the first place. Make sure your pressure is right on your heat press machine. That's one thing that we figured out at Moose's Enterprises in our Stahls TV Blueprint series. If you watch episode 1 of that, we solve a box on a shirt issue at the end of Stahls TV Blueprint episode 1, or apply at a low temperature. So you want low temperature, the right pressure, that will help to eliminate the box in the first place. After it's already there, unfortunately, there's not much, at least that I'm aware of, that you can do with it. No. Okay. All right. So that does it for our episode today. Jimmy, how was your first time on the show?
It was excellent. I am, thankful to actually get in front of the camera and answer some questions. I think we actually have a few more coming in.
Okay, we'll take some time to answer a few more questions. We have a couple minutes.
Teresa's been waiting patiently since
the
early part.
All right.
And she has a customer that brought her burlap Easter bags.
Okay.
She can't hoop them for sewing. So what heat transfer vinyl do you recommend?
Burlap Easter bags. That's a really good question. It probably depends on the intricacy of the design that you want to do. I would imagine that fashion film is going to work just fine for burlap bags. Have we decorated anything burlap in your sample making that you're aware of?
I don't know. It's such like it's a thrown around term. Everything's burlap or different things like that. But fashion film it would be excellent if it's not a real intricate design. Thermofilm can always jump in there. It's one of the staples of Stahls as well. So.
Okay, so we would start with fashion film. However, before doing any of that, if you have some extra material laying around or if you can get to a fabric store and try it, we'd definitely recommend testing it before you do it, but we're going to recommend fashion film for your burlap bag. All right, I think that does it for the questions. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you next week.